Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year, my beloveds. How's everybody doing? Many, many blessings to each and every one of you in this 2020 year. Hello there, Val. Let's see who's checking in already. Already got 14 of you checked in? Wonderful. Wild Fury, how you doing, my goddaughter? Vilma, how are you? Hello, beloved Shannon, how you doing? Orellano, how you doing? Fab, aloha, Cuban country, bendiciones santo, Ellie. How you doing, my friends? I hope everyone so far has had a beautiful new beginning of the year. I hope that the year has really welcomed you with a lot of love, with a lot of peace, with a lot of harmony, with a lot of blessings. Most importantly, health above all things. I wanted to check in tonight. I've been wanting for the last couple of days to check in. I've had a lot of people message me asking if I was going to this year give some predictions or check with Spirit and share with you all what Spirit has communicated to me with regards to 2020, this new decade. And I said that what I did last year, and I heard from a lot of you throughout the year about how things that Spirit shared with you at the beginning of the year came to pass and how beneficial that live at the beginning of the year was for many of you. And that in December, a lot of you actually messaged me and also let me know how things throughout the year came to be with the predictions that was said in January of 2019. So here we are in January of 2020, a new decade, a new beginning, a new year. And I wanted to again not let too many more days of this month go by without sharing with you some of the things that have been coming through since December 31st, actually, and things that have come through at the beginning of the year and different spiritual gatherings that I do. And now I'm ready to share with you a couple of things to the best of my human abilities, and hopefully it will be beneficial for you throughout the year, and you can put some of these messages into practice, some of these advice into practice, spiritual guidance into practice, for first and foremost for our well-being, because this is really what this is all about. It's about our spiritual, mental, and emotional well-being, and physical as well. What's the point in living a life if we're not getting better? What's the point in getting older if we're not getting better? That's the whole idea. Okay. Before I jump into the messages that I would like to share with you, since we only have an hour here before the live runs out of time, I do want to remind everyone that this Friday, the 10th of January, will be the New Year Shamanic Healing Voices meditation class. If you were at the end of the year one, this is definitely not one that you want to miss either. Okay, if you were able to be at the end of the year meditation class, that one was magical. It was very uplifting and very powerful. This one is promised to be the same, even better, to start off the year as strong as possible, to start off the year really ready to take charge, ready to really take control of this hard life that we're living here, many of us, right? So definitely, I would hope that you make time, and Friday the 10th, which is actually a full moon day, a full moon night, is the 10th of this. I think it's a full moon in the afternoon, and it's a full moon in Cancer, actually. So therefore, this is definitely a class that you don't want to miss starting this year dedicated to the energy of Elekba. So, ooh la la, where do I begin? Because there's so much. Where do I begin? Many of us, many of you, my followers of Instagram, and many people that are subscribed to my page, many of us have different walks of life. Many of us have different belief systems, and many of you don't believe in anything at all, only, the ability to wake up in the morning and go to bed at night, right? But I believe that it is safe to say that we all could agree, perhaps, that we live in a very spiritual world, and that this is a spiritual universe, and that everything revolves around energy, positive and negative, yin and yang, good and bad. Everything is energetic. So in this new decade, the energy that's been laid out, spiritually speaking, is one of determination. Okay, one of determination. This is why I kind of sort of entitled this live. Whether you're either in or you're either out. You're either on the money with things or get out of the way, because what we need for this 2020 year, what we need for this new decade, is for us to be decisive, for us to be ready, for us to make decisions that are vital to our well-being, to our stability, to our growth, to our emotional, spiritual, energetic, physical, and emotional health. And we cannot really progress, we cannot really grow, we cannot really maximize, we cannot really expand our wings if we have obstacles in the way. Spirit is requiring us in this particular year to remove those obstacles, and we need to do it as quickly as possible. First and foremost, especially with this particular moon that's coming up this Friday, it revolves a lot around feelings, emotions, what we harbor inside. This particular lunar eclipse, which is starting soon, early in the year, this Friday the 10th, it's going to focus more in what we need in our home environment, in our personal life, what we need energetically and spiritually to feel like we are in control, to feel that we're really, really moving forward, and that we're having not just another year, but a year of accomplishments, a year of winnings, a year of learning, a year of expanding, a year of growing in all the sense of the word. But it seems to be, because of signs and because of certain spiritual things that have come up, that some people really still are dragging their feet, and people are really emotionally in a hole. They either don't understand what's going on in their life, they're trying their best to cope, they're trying their best to make it work, but for some reason you find yourself reverting back and going back to dealing with issues that you thought you had overcome, but then yet they're still lingering above you, they're still dragging, they're still, having a hold on you. So therefore, this particular month, January, pushes you, and definitely this lunar eclipse is going to happen on Friday, and this full moon that's going to happen on Friday, pushes you to really flush things out. It's saying it is not enough. Thinking about it is not enough. Praying over it is not enough. It's a matter of actually doing it. Many of you do know exactly what you need to do, but many of you are stuck between what your mind is telling you to do, the rational aspect of us, and what our emotions or feelings are telling us to do. And there seems to be a conflict. So this is a particular year that you're going to have to separate your own self from all that you feel and go with what is healthy, what is best for you, for your grounding. You cannot expect people around you, family members, loved ones, to agree with everything that you want to do. You cannot expect everyone that surrounds you, that you care for, to be on board with what your mission, with what your calling, with what your desire, with what your vision is. This is a year that Spirit, Orisha, ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, whatever it is that you vibe and connect with, requires us to have a vision. Okay, this is the word number one that I want you to really keep in mind, the vision. Spirit always says that a man or a person in that matter, because I don't like to make distinctions between man and woman, even though verbiage is always talks about men, right? But it talks about collectively man and woman. We have a person without a vision has no destination. So this is a year that you cannot continue to make excuses to not having a vision. You need to have a vision as to where you're heading, as to what you want to do, and how you want to go about it. Let's say, for instance, for a moment that you're the kind of person that still to this day have a hard time deciphering what your vision is. You have a hard time really coming to a conclusion as to what your vision is for your life, because you have so much going on and the message hasn't come through clearly for you. You know, your own intuition has been off. Things that you have tried in the past hasn't worked. And now you're in a position that you're still feeling lost, misguided, confused. And Spirit is saying, pick a vision. Pick a vision that seems, feels real to you in your soul, in your heart. Pick a vision that you know you can represent and not what has been imposed on you. Because now that I say imposed, Spirit also talks about not continuing to do what has been imposed on you. Many of you are doing jobs, many of you are doing work, many of you have responsibilities that for some reason or another, they just, landed in your hands. They landed in your life and you went along with it and you decided to make it work. And you sometimes even make yourself believe that it's cool, that it's okay, that this is what you're supposed to do. When in reality, that's not true. You're not internally, deep down inside, many aspects of you are not happy. It might be working. You might be getting your bills paid. It might be getting you, your paycheck or what have you. But it's not allowing you to feel alive. It's not allowing you to feel in control. This year, in my spiritual, energetic, and religious tradition, the energies that are ruling the year, helping us out energetically, is the energy of Oshun, goddess of love, the goddess of the rivers, goddess of fertility, and the energy of Obatala. And Obatala is a god of white cloth, the god of humility, the god of wisdom, of intelligence, also the god of peace, the energy that gives us our thoughts, our helps us make our decisions, our mind. And it's interesting to me that in such a chaotic year, because I'm going to also get into the topic of what I feel and I believe Spirit has given me as a vision as to all the things that are happening in our world, both, this so-called war that we are about to jump into, which I already knew since last year this was going to be the case, and many different things that are affecting so many different parts of the world that even though it might be somewhere far out there, it affects us all energetically and spiritually, believe it or not. We have to stop feeling that something that's happening in another state, in another city, in another country has nothing to do with us. Because guess what, my friends? This is a year where tables will be turned. This is a year where the universe is going to force many of us to humble ourselves. And we don't really know nor understand what certain predicaments can bring about, in our lives until we're there. We don't know what kind of issues we can find ourselves in until we're there. Whether you're into politics, I'm not. I don't even discuss politics. It's not my cup of tea. It's not something that I want to talk about. But whether we are into politics or not, whether we believe in the government or not, in the system and how it's run, and whether we believe that what's happening up there really affects us or not, directly or indirectly, we are all inside this boat. And how we choose to connect energetically with ourselves, how we choose to be humble to the energy that holds us and keeps us alive and keeps us moving and keeps us sane, that bond, that connection will determine how you're able to move forward and how you will be able to face circumstances that you and I have no control over. We have no control over whether there's going to be a war or not. We have no control over other catastrophes that nature, is introducing and bringing to us. Puerto Rico right now, is going through all this these los sismos, as it's called in Spanish, these earthquakes. And even though we might feel it's all the way over there, let me tell you, nature is going to hit hard, and it's going to hit hard in different parts of the world, and it's going to hit hard right here at home. Nature is going to really hit hard in many different places. So therefore, it is imperative that we collectively connect spiritually and energetically, that we that we stop all this divisive energy. Oh, that's not my problem. Oh, that's not my business. Oh, that has nothing to do with me. Oh, that has nothing to do with my business. Oh, that has nothing to do with my job. Precisely because many people have that attitude that this and that has nothing to do with me. This is precisely where certain things, in Spanish is called pagamos todo el mundo justo por pecadores, meaning at the end of the day, we're all going to suffer, whether it's directly linked to you or not. Some things are going to happen that are beyond our control, that is going to affect us all as a whole. So therefore, one important message that I want to share with you tonight. I already had pick cards already at the beginning of the year, and I picked them again, and coincidentally, two of the same ones that I had shown up for me at the beginning of the year showed up now again, and this is the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords, okay, speaks about our inability to see things for what they really are. Our inability to see things for what they really are. Our inability to confront, face, and do the things that need to be done, because we feel that we owe things to certain people close to us, because we don't know how to say no, because we don't know how to now, even though I might have agreed with you months ago or last year or for the past 5 years, I've agreed that this is the way things were going to be, but Spirit is pushing you this year to make a different decision. This is your inability to confront and face your own truth. So the Two of Swords is telling you, take the blindfold off, okay, unblock yourself, face things head on. Don't make any more excuses as to why you're not doing what you're not doing. Why is it that you're not really focusing on the things that need your attention? Why is it that you're waiting for tomorrow and another day to do what needs to be done now? Attention is needed now. Action is needed now. You either with it or you out of the game, but you gotta have a program, and you have to have a vision. So the Two of Swords is saying the universe is giving you green light. The universe is giving you permission. The universe is giving you support to do what's best for you, even though this will mean that you will get and you will receive resistance from people closest to you. This is a year, my beloved warriors, where a lot of family issues need to be attended. A lot of family issues need to be confronted and need to be attended to and need to be spoken about, and the cards need to be placed on the table, because let me tell you, many of you have walked, even though there's only 30 of you here right now with me live, okay, I can assure you there are about 5 to 8 of you that are listening to me right now that have carried things over into this decade, into this year, that you don't know how the hell you're going to release, that you don't know how the heck it is that you're going to get it off your shoulders, that you don't know how it is that you're going to get it out of your chest and out of your heart, because you're dealing with things and responsibilities that you have already committed yourself to, and you don't know how it is that you're going to now flip the page without being chastised about it, or criticized about it, or put down about it, or made feel guilty about it. This is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is telling you, listen, don't worry about who's going to make you feel guilty about this or about that. Don't worry about how your decisions that needs to be made for you is going to make someone else feel, because this year is about you. This is a new beginning. This is a new beginning in the sense of the word. Many of you, especially those of you that are not too spiritual or too religious or don't believe in anything at all, let me tell you, it might sound like a cliche. It might sound like we always hear from religious leaders, from spiritual, guides, from pastors, from preachers, from, my priest at the church, from my mentor. We always tend to hear at the beginning of each year that this is your year. This is your year to make things happen. This is your year to really maximize. This is your year to grow. This is your year to get better. This is your promised year. Let me tell you something. I ain't going to sell you that bullshit. because I don't believe that this is the case in this new decade. I don't believe that this is the case in this new year. What I do believe is that dependent upon the decisions that you make now, specifically now, this month, this January month of 2020, of this new decade, based on the decisions that you make this month, will determine how much you grow, how much you step into your blessing, how much you are able to really reach your highest potential, how much you're able to feel free, how much you're able to be happier, how much you're able to increase your finances, how much you're able to be happy in your permanent relationship, how able you are to manifest the relationship that you've been waiting for. It's all dependent upon what you choose to do this particular year, at this moment, in this particular month. Whatever decisions you make this month will determine the year. And whatever decisions you make throughout the whole year will clean you down for the next 5 years. I'm telling you this loud and clear. Okay? So at the beginning of the year, this same card came up, and today, when I was prepping for this live, the same card that came up at the beginning of the year is coming up right now, the Two of Swords. And it's telling you, set yourself free. It's telling you, take the blindfolds off. You've been avoiding certain conversations. You've been avoiding certain decisions out of fear of the unknown, fear of how things are going to turn out, fear of the response that you're going to get, fear of what you're going to be told, fear of how you're going to be looked at, fear. And the Two of Swords says, remove that fear, because the universe is on your side. The Two of Swords is telling you the universe is on your side, and the only reason why you're not out of the hole that you feel you're in is because you're blocked. It's because you are not willing to confront that. Number two, the Two of Swords is telling you that you know exactly, many of you know exactly what you need to do, but you don't feel emotionally ready. You don't feel emotionally ready to confront. You don't feel emotionally ready to speak. You don't feel emotionally ready to deal with what comes from having the conversation that you need to have, whether it is with a parent, whether it is with your child, whether it is with a significant other, whether it is with a boss at work, whomever it is, something in you doesn't feel ready. And the only thing that's tricking you into believing that you're not ready is your fear. Trust and believe that this is the case. And I assure you, as I said a few minutes ago, and I'm going to say it again, there are now, 39 of you, supposedly based on the screen, that are listening to me right now live. There are at least 8 to 10 of you that have carried over into this new decade things that you should have handled already, and your fear is not letting you do it. Your fear of, and also fear of the unknown, but also fear of what the response that you're going to get, is not letting you say the things that you need to say. Do the things that you need to do. Release yourself from what you need to be released and set yourself free from. This is the year to do it. The universe is on your side. Your guardian angels is on your side. Your spirit guide is on your side. The only one that's not on your side is yourself. And there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than to not stand up for yourself. I read for many people, and I hear, many people are, because this person hates me, and this person dislikes me, and this person is doing witchcraft on me, and this person is hexing me, and this person, no. The only person that's hexing you, and the only person that's creating havoc in your life, and the only person that's bringing turmoil and conflict into your life is you. Because the Two of Swords is saying, if you would just act upon what Spirit has already put inside you, if you would be, gutsy enough to be able to say, you know what, as uncomfortable as this feels to me, I need to do what needs to be done now, because if I don't do it, no one else is going to come do it for me. If I don't do it now, no one else is going to open this door for me. If I don't say what I need to say that I've been holding on for such a long time, and it creates a huge knot in my throat, no one is able to say it for me. So the Two of Swords is saying, unblock yourself. You're the only one blocking your blessings. The only one blocking your blessings is you. Okay? Also, one of the cards that came up for this particular year, many people's least favorite, is the Devil's card. And what does this tell me? This tells me a lot. We spoke about the Two of Swords, now we speak about the Devil. And the devil card, even though it's not literally the devil, as many of you should know, but it does speak also about fear. It talks about all the things that have kept you hostage, that have kept you, submissive to situations and experiences that have no place in your life anymore. It's also keeping yourself tied to things that do not feed you. Let me tell you, my friends, and I know if you've been on my page for a while and you already know how I work and how I function, you just gotta get used to me. Because I go to here and I go there and I go here and I go there just to make the point that needs to be made. The devil's card is telling you, my beloved spiritual warriors, the devil's card is telling you that you're creating your own scenario, number one. Number two, you're still attached to a person, or you're still attached to a place that does not let you expand, that does not let you grow. And also, the Two of Swords with the devil's card is telling you, you have to be ready, especially now with this full moon coming up on Friday, which is such an emotional moon because it comes with the lunar eclipse, that will also take place. And we're talking about Cancer here. That's all about home, emotions, and our feelings. Let me tell you, this is the moment in time for you to release. The devil's card for many of you is telling you that it's not about your next door neighbor, it's not about your mama or your daddy or your boyfriend or your husband and your wife and girlfriend. It's about you forgiving yourself. Many aspects of this devil's card is about you not having enough inner faith to believe that you're able to be better than you ever were before. Your inability to believe that you have what it takes to separate yourself from who you used to be, from what you used to do, from how you used to think, from the things and the people that you used to be around. Some of you are still in environments and you still keep ties to people that only sink you down, that only, keep you stuck, that only, it's a matter of Spirit telling you, what Spirit really wants to tell you is, you have to feel tired. When you feel tired of being tired, this is when you truly unleash the very best of you. When you become tired of being tired. This is the month, this is the moment, this moon and this lunar eclipse coming up on Friday. It's the time for you to recognize, validate, and realize that you deserve so much better than you've been able to give yourself in the past. This is a year where relationships will collapse. This is the year where, what we thought we had last year, what we thought we had 2 years ago, what we thought we had 5 years ago, it's not going to stand true anymore. Here we have, bear with me, because as I'm speaking, I'm sharing with you what Spirit has already shared with me since December 31st. But I'm also sharing with you things that are coming to me at this moment because I am connected. I prepped for this live. This is not just me, hitting live and just sitting here pulling shit out of my ass. So bear with me. This is the year in which Spirit, forces you to reevaluate what you thought you wanted. Reevaluate what you thought. This is the path that you wanted to go. This is what you wanted to do. This is the people that you wanted to be with. This is the person that you wanted to be in a relationship with. This is the job that you wanted. This is the house that you wanted to be in. This is the city that you wanted to be in. Many of that is going to go out the damn window. Many of it is going to go out the window. This year is not a new year. It's a new decade. So as we speak, as you and I, as you hear me out, or hear Spirit, I'm just a vessel. I am an imperfect human being just like you are. But right now I'm under the trance and guidance of Spirit. And let me tell you something. Spirit with this devil's card is telling you that number one, you need not to continue being afraid of what's going to happen tomorrow. So some of you are so into your head and so into yourself, and some of you are so married to your fears that you don't let blessings in. This is why many of us feel unblessed, which is why many of us feel like, we're not meant to have greater things, or we'll never have greater things, because all that we've ever known is the fear aspect of our past. All that we've ever known is the scarcity that we've been living in. All that we've ever known is all that you've ever known is that those boyfriends that you've had that never gave you shit, those boyfriends that you had that never validated you, those boyfriends that you had that never, had your best interest at heart, that boyfriend that never knew how to truly love you, that significant other that couldn't really, make a bond with you, that's all that you've ever known. So this is why you cannot see that tomorrow, that next month, that this year, that this new decade has somebody better for you, has a better situation for you. You don't see that because you've never had it. You don't know about greater stability and greater monies because you've never had it. You've been making ends meet. You've been jumping from this job to another job. You've been going to, one city to another city to push an agenda to see if luck is on your side. But you have not truly divorce your fears. And because you haven't divorced your fears and you're still married to it, because maybe this is a learned behavior, there's a pathology going on here, this is how mama acted, and the very same person, now I'm going in 5 different directions here because I'm picking up all the energies of you 45 people that are listening to me, plus all the shit that has been coming to me since the beginning of the year. Let me tell you, some of you that have condemned and that have been so fearful of becoming like your mama or becoming like your daddy, it's the exact same shit that you're doing. It's the exact same thing that you're executing. It's the exact same behavior that you are manifesting in your day in, day out. So therefore, the very same thing that I said I was not going to do is the same thing that I'm doing. The same person that I said I did not want to be, this is the same person that you are. So Spirit is telling you, wake up, release yourself, because this is just in your mind. This devil energy is just in your mind. It's just based on where you've been, where you've come from. And let me tell you something, my friends. Let me tell you something, my spiritual warriors. If I was to ask you, where are your blessings? Are they here or are they back there? I wonder what would you say? Because Spirit is telling me that blessing is not behind us. Our blessings is in front of us. Our blessings is ahead of us. Our blessings and our prosperities and our growth is ahead of us, not behind us. So why is it that you keep speaking about your past? Why is it that each time a new beginning arises, a new door wants to open, a new person comes into your life, you want to be talking about what John did, what Jacob did to you, what Alex did to you years ago, what your daddy did to you, what your mama didn't give you? Why is it that you keep speaking about your past when Spirit is trying to show you your future, when Spirit is trying to push you forward into your blessing? Stop speaking about your past. And this is what you do with the devil's card. You speak about the past because that's all that you've ever known. And the past is what keeps you stuck to the fear. And you're married to the fear. Many of you, respectfully be said, because you all know how blunt I am, many of you, even those of you that are really serious people, that really want the best for yourself, that are loyal, that are monogamous, many of you monogamous people have threesomes all the damn time. You know why you have threesomes all the time? Because even though you are with a new person, maybe the person that destiny does want you to be with, but you keep regurgitating out all the things that happened in your last relationship. Your mind keeps playing tricks with you. Your mind keeps reminding you of what was. This is why someone wants to love you and you don't let yourself be loved, because you think that if you open up that heart chakra and you let that person in, that the same shit that happened to you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, is going to come back and it's going to hunt you again, and it's going to keep, making you, unworthy, or, that love is just going to go out the door again, or that betrayal is going to come knocking on your door again. You keep intoxicating your blessings with your past. You keep allowing the visions of your past to dictate the blessings of your future, and it does not go like that. It does not go like that. I love how some of you do it. Because it's interesting to me how you look so good. You're an intelligent woman or an intelligent man, and many of you play it safe. Let's go back over here because I need you to get this shit. I really need you to get this shit. As usual, I'm going to go over my hour. If you care to hear what Spirit says, you'll stick with me. If not, bon voyage. Two of Swords and the Devil's card. And I'm like, wow. Two of Swords and the Devil's card. Two of Swords. Resistance to do what needs to be done out of fear. Devil's card. Fear factor. All that was. This is also talks about addictions, which I'm going to get into because that was another message that Spirit, gave at the beginning of the year for me to share with you about being cautious to not falling into addictive ways, addictive behaviors, and worst case scenarios, other kinds of addictions like drugs and alcohol and the whole nine yard. But that's another subject that I'm going to share with you in a few. The Devil's card and the Two of Swords. With the energy that's coming about this Friday with the full moon in Cancer, right? Let me tell you, this is the month and the year for the next 3 months, January, February, and March. We need to really dissect and do an autopsy of our past. You need to dissect and do an autopsy of your past. And when you do an autopsy of your past, it means that you are going to go through the good and the bad, and you're going to, say, this is what I did. I'm gonna write it down on paper, okay, one by one. Related to job, related to finances, related to family, related to relationships, all of yourself. You're gonna write it out, and you're gonna write the good and the bad. And you're gonna say, this is all that I did 2019 or 2018 or the past 10 years. This is all that I've been doing. This is my pathology that I've been married to for the past year, 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years. This is what I've been doing. And if the answer to all that you've been doing means that it hasn't been working, that it hasn't truly birthed a real happy you, then it means you're gonna have to give her or him up. That old self that has had you in this devil's position, that old self that has had you living in fear, that old self that does not let a person into your life. That was the point I was going to make a few minutes ago. Many of you are, you have a good job, or you have a job that, that pays your bills, and you're comfortable, or, you keep yourself safe. And its Spirit is saying, just because you play it safe, okay, does not necessarily mean that you're happy. Stop bullshitting yourself. Just because you play it safe and you don't let anybody, too close, and you don't open your heart to anybody, and you don't, expose and take risks, does not mean that you're happy. It just means that you're safe. But what happens, my friends, everything in life has, all extremes are bad, okay? All extremes are bad. So if I overexpose myself, and if I have no boundaries, and I have, no restrictions and no parameters, and I just let anybody in and out of my life, then I am overexposing myself to continuously being hurt by the wrong people. But if my walls are always up, and I don't let anybody in, and I claim, and I forced myself to believe that this is not, I don't want any part of that side of the world. I don't want any part of that side of this society. I don't want any part of this that has to do with relationships. I don't want any part of that has to do with love. Then I'm also avoiding and preventing and missing out on the blessings and the opportunities that God, if you believe in God, Spirit, if you believe in Spirit, I do, ancestors, Spirit, guardian angels, Spirit guides, whatever you believe in, whatever you vibe with, you are preventing them from doing their work, the work that they want to do in your life, the blessings that they want to bring into your life. Because you and I don't know. We might have an idea of what we want. We might have an idea of how we will want it to go down. But you and I cannot know with exactitude. How is it that Spirit, God, ancestors, guardian angels wants to introduce blessings into our lives. So this is why the devil's card is saying, set yourself free. Set yourself free. Free from what? Free from your old mindset, free from your old behavior, free from your old set ways, because some of you are set in your ways, free from all the things that have not been working. You have to set yourself free. And you have to set yourself free from, you have to set yourself free from what has been instilled in you by your upbringing as well. Some of you are just repeating the story over again. Some of you are just repeating the story over again. And because we can love our mom, we can love our dad if he's present in our life, right? And we thought that the way, this is for somebody else, I don't know who you are, but hear me out. I thought that, the way I was raised and what I was, taught was the right way. And I have been living in that mentality. I have been living in that lifestyle for such a long time. And now Spirit comes and gives me a punch right in my belly and wakes me up and say, yeah, you know what? That might have worked for the last 5 years. That might have worked for the last 20 years. That might have worked for the last 15 years. But this is not how your spirit guide, how your guardian angel, how God, how Spirit wants you to continue living your life. This is not the plan for this new decade. This is not the plan for this future. This is not the plan for this new year. It might have worked for the last 10 years, but you know what? You've done all that you could do, and that's already in the past. This is a time to move forward. So maybe the Two of Swords for you, for whoever this message is for, maybe the Two of Swords is telling you it's okay to open up and say, Mom, I know that you think I'm doing it right, but I just realized that I'm not doing it right. You know what, Mom? I know that this is what you taught me and this is what you believe is best for me. And I, for a long time, actually thought that this was best for me too. But now I've come to realize that there's another life for me out there that I have been afraid to explore, that I have not allowed myself to jump into out of fear, that I have not even put not even one toe in. And I don't even know what it feels like until I get there. So you may not agree with what I'm about to do. You may not agree with the city that I want to go live in right now. You may not agree with the person that I want to choose to date right now. You may not agree with the kind of, hairstyle or how I want to look or what I wanted to do. But this is what my inner spirit is telling me to do. And how I used to do it might have worked, but it's not working for me anymore. It's not working for me anymore because I come to realize that I thought I was happy, but now I know I'm missing something. And you cannot be happy if you're missing something. If you're missing something, it means that something needs to be in you, in your life, part of you, part of your being, part of your existence for you to even really know what happiness really is. Okay? Moving along. This is the year, my beloved spiritual warriors, that you're going to have to tell some friends that you love, some friends that you are tied to, and some friends that are actually good friends. I'm not saying they're bad, but they are also set in their ways. They are also have a mentality. They've also been used to you being a certain kind of way. And where you're going this year, where you're supposed to go this year, you cannot drag dead weight. You cannot drag people that has an outdated mentality. They mean well, but they have an outdated mentality. Listen, if I have somebody in my life that means well, just because you mean well does not mean that you're going to help me birth my new blessing. Because where I'm heading and what I need to do, I need somebody that sees my vision. I need somebody that really supports where I'm heading. I need somebody that's going to be with me ride or die, and not reject and not try to fight what I know I need to do. So this is where you have to at times love from afar. This is where you decide to say, I love you, I know you mean the best for me, but I need to go in this journey. I need to go in this new journey. I need to go in this journey, and unfortunately, because you don't see my vision, you can support what you don't see, right? You cannot support what you don't see. So therefore, if somebody cannot see, cannot support my vision, then that means that I am not to drag their energy with me. I am not. So, another thing. We could be in relationships. This is romance. We could be in relationships with good-hearted people. Good-hearted. Listen to my words, because I am a man that speaks very clearly. You could be in a relationship with good-hearted people. But let me tell you, just because the person is good-hearted does not mean that they see you, feel you, truly know where you're heading and what you truly need and what you truly desire in your life. There's two different things, though. Let's not get it twisted. You may have a good heart, but you don't fight hard enough. You may have a good heart, but you don't fight hard enough. And I need somebody that fights hard, because I am ready to tackle hard. I'm ready to tackle my life hard. I don't want to be on cruise control anymore. I don't want to be just, playing it safe and see what God or Spirit or ancestors or whoever wants to bless me with. No. This is your time. This is your job. This is your opportunity. This is your time to do it. This is your time to go get it. This is your time to go get it. This is your time to go get it. And if you have somebody by yourself that's kind-hearted, that's good-hearted, has good intentions, but is not a fighter like you, you're going to have problems this year. Trust me, you're going to have problems. And you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to have to decide, am I just going to be here and play it safe because I don't want to lose him, I don't want to lose her because he has or she has a good heart, or am I going to really link up with somebody that sees my vision so that he or she can support my vision and is able to fight alongside with me on my vision? That's a major difference. You either take the back seat and stay cruise control and let it just be and have another year doing the same redundant bullshit thing, or you take charge and you take control. So yes, I am declaring that this is a year, people that you are in relationship with may not be the person that you end up this year with. May not be the person that you end up marrying how you thought. May not be the person that you end up having children how you thought. May not be the person that you end up raising the children that you already have with them as you thought. How about that? Because this is the moment in time and new decade that you need to pave a new road. Because the road you've been on may have been safe, but it's not fulfilling. May be safe, but it's not fulfilling. I repeat, the road that you have been journeying on may be safe, okay? May be safe, but it's not fulfilling. Am I speaking to anybody? Is anybody truly receiving what Spirit is saying? Because I need to know. Is anybody really getting this? Is this helping anybody? Am I speaking to anybody? Because let me tell you, my beloveds, this is not the year for bullshit. This is not the year to just be like, oh, I don't know, let me think, I am not sure, I'm confused. Oh, no. This is the year for action. This is the year for action. This is the year for action. Granted, everything, actually nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. I'm not just saying that things are just going to be, nice and dandy and everything's going to be perfect and there's not going to be no obstacles and there's not going to be no challenges and there's not going to be no hurdles to overcome. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted, okay? What I am saying is we need action. I went out, I did it. If it didn't work, I flipped the page and I keep doing it and I keep doing it and I keep learning and I keep doing it. What I don't want you to do is to keep speaking about your past. That's the only thing I don't want you to do. I don't want to hear about your past. I don't want to hear about what happened. I don't want to hear about how it was. I don't want to hear what was. I want to hear what will be. I want to hear what should be. I want to hear what could be. I want to hear what plan do you have to push forward. I don't want you debating, and I don't want you thinking, and well, maybe because, my mama told me, and my boyfriend, I'm trying to help him out. Help yourself. Help yourself. Help yourself. Help yourself. You've been helping other people for God knows how long. Help yourself. The energy of Oshun, the goddess of love, the goddess of fertility, the goddess of femininity, the goddess of the rivers, planet Venus, energy of Lakshmi. The energy of Shun is ruling this year in my Orisha Lukumi tradition, and the energy of Oshun is saying that this is the year to birth new things. She's the goddess of fertility, right? And we're all not going to be pregnant, and we're not all going to have children. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is set yourself in a position to birth a new beginning. Set yourself in a position to really bring about a new fluid energy. We cannot be stuck. We cannot be restricted. We cannot be bound. Anything that's bound and restricted does not work, honey. It does not work, baby. It does not work. So this is the year where you have to set new goals. And this is the year for you to revisit goals that you thought you did not have it in you to manifest. But as you divorce the fears, right? As you realize that you have the will to choose a new journey, a new path for you, and you don't have to be continuously bound to what was. As you recognize that you have to confront, that you have to speak, that you have to say what needs to be said, that you have to do what needs to be done without excuses, without delay, then, the tools needed to make something work that didn't work before will work now. That's what Oshun is telling me to tell you. That is what the energy of Oshun is telling me to tell you. Okay? You thought that the blessings that you wanted were not meant to be for you. Little did you know that it's not that it wasn't supposed to be for you. It's that the environment that you've been in, the people that you've been tied to, the people that you've been in relationship with are not meant to be in this journey with you to benefit from the blessings that are only destined for you. Does this make sense to anybody? Am I helping anybody? Is Spirit speaking to anybody's heart tonight? I am the type of healer. I am the type of healer. I am the type of spiritual being. Because everybody, we live in, this is 2020 already, right? So everybody's spiritual, and everybody just thinks that sitting under a tree and being in a meditation, pose, that's spiritual. Bullshit. You know what spiritual is? Confront your damn truth. That's spiritual. Confront your truth. That is spiritual. Because it makes no sense for you to be meditating every day and keep doing the same shit over and over again that does not yield the results that God and Spirit and ancestors really want for you in your life. So how's that for an awakening? Because what sense does it make to really just sit there and pray and meditate? I see a white light. Oh, I just feel the air and the breeze. And the butterfly, I just saw the butterfly and the butterfly. No, the butterfly is trying to say you wake up and smell the damn coffee because you've been eating shit for too long and there's no more time for you to be eating shit anymore. That's what the butterfly is telling you. Okay? So, instead of just sitting there and playing the pose and playing the spiritual role, act the spiritual role. Somebody tweet that and tag me in it. Instead of playing the spiritual role, act the spiritual role. Act it out. Act it out, baby. Don't just play it. Act it out. Because Jesus, really, seriously. And that's what Oshun is telling you. Oshun is telling you, I want to bring blessings into your life. Okay? But I cannot do it while you're still in your fantasy land, while you're still in denial of your reality, while you're still unwilling to face your truth, while you're still debating and thinking, you sit there and debate. While you sit there and debate, get out of other people's way that are trying to get somewhere. Get out of other people's way that are truly, truly determined to make this year their blessed year, to make this year their prosperous year, to make this year the year that they grow, the year that they maximize, the year that they actually take control, the year that they actually see themselves doing something beneficial for themselves. Get out of their way. If you're not willing to do it, if you're not ready to do it, you have that prerogative, honey. You have that prerogative. You're not obligated to do anything that you don't want to do. But get out of other people's way, because some of you are holding people back. Some of you are holding people back from doing what they want to do. And this is when Oshun's energy is not going to let that happen anymore. Because this is a new decade. And the Spirit is saying, whoever you are supposed to take out of your path, if you don't do it willingly, nature, universe will do it for you. So this is a time for that. Okay? Further on, moving along. I hope Spirit is speaking to somebody here. This is also a year for self-care. Self-care. This is also a year for self-care in all the sense of the word, okay? And what is self-care? Self-care is any activity that we deliberately do, okay? Self-care, any activity that we deliberately do to take care of our emotional, mental, and physical health. This is the year for that. Okay, this is the year to just really focus inwardly in you. Okay, this year, my beloved spiritual warriors, what we do now, since January 1st of 2020 up until December 31st of 2020, will determine the next 5 to 10 years. We'll determine it. We'll determine where we're heading, where we're going. So guess what? I am right now in a position where I don't know about you, but I hope I'm not alone on this boat, but I am not willing to be tied down. I am not willing to sacrifice one more day, one more minute, one more second of my blessings to things that I am uncertain about, to things that I don't know about, to things that I am unwilling to release out of fear. I am not willing to sacrifice my next 5 to 10 years over something that I am undecided. If I'm undecided about it, it means that it probably shouldn't be there. If I'm undecided about it, it probably means that it shouldn't even be there. Get it out. Throw it out. Keep it out. Cut it out. Cut that cord. Because you cannot continue to, sacrifice any more years of that. Any more future years based on what you do now. It says, this shit says 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining. Okay, let me log that back out. And come back. I hope that all 44 of you come back. Because I feel like Spirit is just barely starting.